Hello, future officers. Today, in this segment, we will start a new series that is static quiz series. And in this segment, we will revise our history GK for the upcoming exam, our UPSC Prelims 2021. It will help you to memorize things more deeply. So, let's start today's session. Building Kalyana Mandapas was a novel feature in the temple structure in the kingdom of. So, Kalyana Mandapas was a notable feature of which temple construction? Option A Chalukya, option B Chandela, option C Rashtrakuta, and option D Vijayanagar. So, here the correct option will option D, that is Vijayanagar construction, temple construction. Okay, so move on to the explanation. Let's see the chief features of Vijayanagar architecture. First, construction of tall Raya Gurupurams or gateways. Kalyana Mandapam was carved pillar in the temple premises. Sculptures carving on the pillars. The most important feature of the temple of Vithala are Mahamandapa and the Garbhagriha. The Mahamandapa has 56 pillars. The ceilings above these pillars are highly ornamented. Likewise, Garbhagriha is highly ornated. Important features of Vijayanagar style of temple and architecture well. Monolithic pillar, ornate brackets, decoration or exterior side of the wall, etc. Okay, move on to the next question. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. Sant Nimbarka was a contemporary of Akbar. Statement 2. Saint Kabir was greatly influenced by Sheikh Ahmed Sirhindi. Now, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. Let's see again. Saint Nimbarka was a contemporary of Akbar. This is incorrect because Akbar belongs to the 16th century, whereas Saint Nimbarka was belonged to the 14th century. So this is incorrect. Saint Kabir was greatly influenced by Sheikh Ahmed Sirhindi. This is also incorrect. So here the correct option will option D, that is neither 1 nor 2. Okay, move on to the explanation. Saint Nimbarka belongs to the 13th or the 14th century. It's not confirmed actually. And while we know that Akbar reigned during 16th century, so that's not possible. That's why statement 1 is incorrect. Saint Kabir lived in the 15th century, whereas Sheikh Ahmed Sirhindi lived during 16th century. So that is also impossible. So that's why statement 2 is also incorrect. Okay, move on to the next question. With reference to the British colonial rule in India, consider the following statement. Statement 1. Mahatma Gandhi was instrumental in the abolition of the system of indentured labor. Statement 2. Lord Chelmsford War Conference, Mahatma Gandhi did not support the resolution on recruiting soldiers for World War. Consequent upon the breaking of salt law by Indian people, the Indian government, this is statement 3 actually. Consequent upon the breaking of salt law by Indian people, the Indian National Congress was declared as illegal by the colonial ruler. So here the first statement, Mahatma Gandhi was instrumental in the abolition of the system of indentured labor, is absolutely correct. In Chelmsford War Conference, Mahatma Gandhi did not support the resolution on recruiting Indians for World War. This is incorrect. Indian National Congress was declared as illegal by the colonial ruler on the consequence of the salt law breaking. This is also absolutely correct. So 1 and 3 is correct here. Let's see. Lord Chelmsford, then the Viceroy of India, invited Gandhi to Delhi at a war conference. In order to get the trust of the empire, Gandhi agreed to move people to enlist in the army for World War I. That's why India was indirectly attached to the First World War. We know that. Then Congress was declared illegal by British government after the launch of second phase of civil disobedience movement. Okay, it was not a factor that favored in launching the second phase of civil disobedience movement. Mahatma Gandhi was instrumental in the abolition of the system indentured labor in South Africa. So that's why here statement 1 and 3 is correct. Okay, now move on to the next question. With reference to Indian national movement, consider the following pairs: persons and position held. Tej Bahadur Sapru, President of All India Liberal Federation; K.C. Yogi, a member of the Constitution Assembly; P.C. Joshi, General Secretary of Communist Party of India. Okay, so which one is correctly matched? We have to find out that. Okay, so Tej Bahadur Sapru was the president of All India Liberal Federation, is absolutely correct. K.C. Yogi was a member of Constitution Assembly, is also correct. P.C. Joshi was the General Secretary of Communist Party of India. This is also absolutely correct. Okay, let's see the options. So which pair is correctly matched? So here all the statements are correctly matched. So option D is the correct option. Okay, move on to the explanation. Now let's see about Tej Bahadur Sapru. He was a prominent Indian freedom fighter, a lawyer and a politician. He was key figure in Indian struggle for independence, helping draft the Indian Constitution. Okay. Now, Kshitiz Chandra Yogi. He was a member of Constitution Assembly, a member of the first Cabinet of Independent India, and the chairman of first Finance Commission of India. Mention in the comment section when the first Finance Commission came. Next, Puran Chandra Joshi. He was one of the early leaders of communist movement in India, and he was a general secretary of Communist Party of India from 1935 to 1947. Okay. Move on to the next question. Now, with reference to Mughal India, what is or are the difference or differences between Jagirdar and Jamindar? Okay. Statement 1. Jagirdar were holders of land assignment in lieu or in place of judicial and police duties, whereas Jamindars were holders of revenue rights without obligation to perform any duty other than revenue collection. Statement 2. Land assignment to Jagirdars were hereditary and revenue rights of Jamindar were not hereditary. This is incorrect. And here both the statements are incorrect, because land assignment to Jagirdar were not hereditary and Jamindar were hereditary. That's why it's incorrect. Move on to the explanation. Here we have to find out which one is correct. So here both the statements are incorrect. Move on to the explanation. Individuals or noblemen were given rights over revenue of the allotted jaigirs in lieu of, that's mean in place of military services to the state. Jagirdars kept a legion of soldiers and were responsible for the salaries and other needs, and jaigirs were not hereditary. Okay. An important feature of the jaigir system was shifting of jaigir holders from one jaigir to another for administrative reasons. This system of transfer checked the jagirdars from developing local routes. Thus, jaigir were transferable and could be seized also. Okay, whereas jamindar were hereditary. Okay, so the Jamindars were present practically every part of Mughal Empire and held the most significant position in the agrarian structure of Mughal India. This is all for this segment. Do like, share and subscribe our channel E-Education. You can follow us on Facebook page, on Telegram group and on Instagram also. You can text me, you can give me any suggestion, you can post your query there. I will reply soon and I will give the link in the description box. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video.